first thing we need is a bigger framework in which to work with leadership. And the leadership circle is a bigger framework. In fact, it's being called now by some the unified theory, the first unified theory of leadership to evolve in the field. When I started my career, I had the good fortune, it was consciously designed by me, but I had the good fortune of getting connected with some of the key thought leaders at that time in the field. And what I noticed was that the field is a kind of random, fragmented group of really great stuff. Lots of very powerful theory and framework, largely unconnected. And I don't know why, it's kind of how I'm built. It's my passion. I just began to start saying, how does all this stuff fit together? And over a 20-year period of time, I worked to knit together some of the best theory and framework that I could come across and research that I could come across on leadership into a larger framework, and it all got packed into, and it's kind of the behind-the-scenes operating system of the leadership circle. And the circle itself is a drawing or a dynamic model of how all that theory and framework and research fits together. And so this is the framework we want to use with Bob. And we'll kind of just quickly walk through it. So the core of the framework is this model. And that framework moves right into the top and the bottom half of the circle. So the top half is creative level mind and higher, bottom half more reactive level mind. And then, of course, one of the big frameworks that's been around the field forever is you're more effective as a leader if you can manage people well and task well. And so now you kind of have the architecture of the circle, and you can plug into this framework all the best framework and theory that goes on in over 50 years of leadership research. So let's just go in and we'll walk around this really quickly. So at achieving, you're looking at McClellan's work on need achievement, say Fritz's work on focus on results, Peter Senge's work on systems awareness, systems thinker, Marv Weisbord, systems design, Peter Block, authentic, courageous conversation, Kuntz and Posner on integrity, and then, of course, all the way from Maslow to Goleman on self-awareness and emotional intelligence, and from Carl Rogers through a whole lineage of people who worked on how do I really work well with people and build teams. It turns out those buckets contain most of the good frameworks in leadership development. Now for the bottom half, we turn more to psychology. So in the 1950s, Karen Horney said there's 3 primary ways people construct their sense of self at reactive level mind. We call that creative, complying, protecting, and controlling. And then the cognitive psychologists have been working for years to identify the beliefs and assumptions that if you hold them, like, you got to be a change agent, I want everybody to like me, it limits effectiveness. And so the bottom half is a whole array of the kind of reactive level assumptions that run behavior that can limit effectiveness. This making sense? And then the top half is a full-on competency assessment, on par with the best. So you pull in all the good research on competency, meaning the kind of key leadership competencies that are well demonstrated to be effective in leadership. And so you've got a very complex and complete system now here for finding out what's going on with Bob and Jack.